Okay, in this video, I have a special treat for you. I am going to explain to you what the secret is to consistency in your Forex trading. And actually, I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to invite on a special guest who's one of the most successful and consistent Forex traders that I've ever seen. His name is Yuuya Kato. If you've been on our channel for any time, maybe you've seen something from him, but he's a 15-time funded professional prop trader and is absolutely one of the best Forex traders on the planet. And in this video, we take you inside one of our live trading calls with Yuuya that we host multiple times per week inside of our Funded Trader Fast Track mentorship group, which you can see more at fundedtraderfasttrack.com if you're interested in trading live with a 15-time funded professional prop trader. So inside this video, he's going to teach you a lot of cool stuff that a lot of other people aren't really talking about because they don't have the level of experience or success that he does. You're going to learn the secret to consistency. Also, he's going to talk about the best times to trade, not only the best time of the day, but the best days of the week, as well as the best weeks of the month to actually be trading. He's also going to show you how he just passed one of his recent challenges and plus a ton more. So if you're looking to become a more consistently profitable Forex trader, then make sure you watch this video to the very end.
Yesterday we actually took a gold trade at that time, and that's where we made that big trade yesterday. It was off of this little fake out pattern, and then this is, I think, 4 a.m. Central. This is 5 right here.
Yeah, and he just stayed in it for 1 hour. That's it, and he's out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing like trading GJ and gold, like, you know, at a specific time.
Yeah,
It's that just shows you that coming at a very specific time every day is the key. And that's exactly what I do. I come every London Open, trade that, nothing happens, skip, come back the next day. Same thing, trade gold, New York Open, nothing happens, skip, come back the next day. It's simple as that. And the thing is, like, you just have to stay consistent. And like I was mentioning earlier in the call, like, keeping things simple and consistent is the best way to approach this. You know, like, I always say this, but a person that just trades off of support and resistance that is consistent can be profitable and consistent, and, like, you know, and they can create longevity for their trading careers. Like, this was just the last challenge I took. I had a bad August, but I mean, looking from this, you wouldn't even be able to tell this. I just passed this yesterday, but I have a 50% win rate. But I mean, the worst trade was taken yesterday because I was being very aggressive. But essentially, I had a lot of losses, but you can kind of tell the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days were all in the greens, you know? And it was just, and I did the same thing, trade gold, GJ, gold and GJ, you know, and, like, stayed consistent to it. You can tell that my lot size are a lot bigger on GJ than it is on gold. And the UJ was just to get the last $7. That's essentially, I don't ever trade that, but you can kind of just tell, you know. But I keep my losses at a minimum, you know. I'm very, like, smart with that. And, like, my average win is usually in, like, the 1% to 2%, you know. My average risk to reward is 1 to 2. And I think what's been creating the success for me, this consistency, is just coming at that same time. Like, I understand how pairs move now. Like I understand what GJ does at the open, you know, and, like, what it likes to do. And that's why I always tell myself I'm giving myself 2 chances, because essentially, like, you know, there is always that chance. You're never going to know when a fake out's going to happen, but you also don't want to miss an impulse move occurring as well too. So let's say give yourself 2 chances, get a 0.5 risk. Boom, you make your trade. Yeah, if the impulse move goes your way, you know, you don't have to take your second trade and you end up profiting. You know, you don't have a loss for the day. But if it does fake you out, then you take that next trade off of a fake out pattern. You be patient, but then you risk a little bit more to make back the loss you had, but then some. But then if that's the move that it wants to go and it wants to pick momentum, that's where that 2% trade can become like a 4 to 5%. Like, for example, like yesterday, when we took the gold, I ended up making about 4,000 right here, essentially just because, you know, the momentum picked up. I took it off of this little 30-minute rejection wick that took out highs, but the 15 showed me a fake out pattern. So that's why I took it right here, and boom, looked for shorts, and then ended up going really well. So I think that really just shows you that it's just very important just to come at a very specific time every single day and just trade that time, because you'll start to understand it a lot more. And it's the same thing, like if I bring football into the mix, the more that I play a team, the more of their tendencies, the more of their like schemes, the more of their plays, more of their everything that I know. It's the same thing. The more that you come and trade just GJ and gold, the more you're going to understand it. And then even more, the more you trade it at a specific time, you're going to understand your tendencies. And like I'm always saying, volume is king to everything. So you want to find the time that it has the most volume. Like sometimes GJ doesn't move London, but it's rare to see that. But the thing is, I know that London Open will always create the most volume for GJ. So that's the reason why I come on GJ every London Open. Same thing with gold. I know that it's either going to move a lot during the NYSC Open, which was about 30 minutes ago, or the New York Forex Open, which was about 2 hours ago. And I choose to do the 2 hours ago, that New York Forex Open, just because it's just better on my time. And also, like, I've caught a lot of moves off of that, and I do like it, as well too. So I stick to those two consistent times and nothing else. And if it does not make a move within the hour or the hour half that I trade, and I call it a day, and then I move on to the next day. The market is not going to go anywhere. You stay consistent there's 5 trading days available in a day. You seize every single one of them. I mean, I start to realize that Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best times to trade. And also the 2 weeks in the middle of the month are the best times, because the first week usually has NFP. The last week has potential of the quarters, like the quarter ending or anything like that. The end of the month usually entails some type of volatility and indecisiveness. The beginning of the month is affected by news. Usually the 2 middle weeks are, the prime time to be able to trade. And then obviously Tuesday, Wednesdays, the middle time, you see a lot of volume in the market as well too. So I think you just combine all of that together. I don't like to trade Fridays. I don't want the possibility of me being stuck in a trade over the weekend. I've lost a lot of money holding over trades over the weekend, and to be exact, $55,000 to be exact before. So you just never know if a gap is going to be open. You never know, something's going to happen. So you just, put yourself, I think at the end of the day, being consistent and also mitigating your risk. And doing that is by controlling the lot size, understanding, that you can live to fight another day. Don't try to make everything back in one day either too. Small wins can add up to becoming big wins, and then wait for your opportunities. Like, those big opportunities where you can make 10 to 15% in one day are going to happen, but they're not meant to happen every single day. So don't try to swing for the home run every day. Like, it's usually when a strong 4-hour support breaks or anything like that. For example, like, we can kind of see there was a very strong support at this level over here. I guess you can say, all over here. As soon as that broke, we started pushing and we had a big move. And this is barely a small one. We can go back past and look at gold right here, where we had this support and obviously these supports right here. As soon as that last support right here on the bottom was broken, boom. This is where, how many pips is this? Honestly, even within this candle right here, you could catch 222 pips. And then obviously all the way down, this is 1,000. So, there's always that opportunity. You just have to find it, and like, it's not going to always come, but when it does, you just have to be prepared and ready. And until then, small wins are totally fine. And if you're trading on a 100K account, 1% is more than enough. Like, obviously, think about just being consistent and making 1% every single day. You have 20 trading days in a month. That could be 20%. Let's just say you don't lose. I know obviously you are going to lose, but the thing is, like, having these 2 second chance trades, like, for me, like, it can create greens. Like, there's some days where I do lose. Like, this day I did lose, but the thing is, I still came out at 1% profit, So it just shows you that, like, as long as you stay consistent in your plan and doing it, like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be consistent. And I think at the end of the day, being consistent is hard because we overcomplicate things. We start trading all these different ways, listening to all these different things, I think it's good to know a lot, but to, like, have that overwhelm you. If that's going to overwhelm you, then you have to just forget about it. Like, there's so many strategies I've tried to learn over the years and everything like that. I just figured out, I grabbed everything that I've learned and essentially I picked what made sense to me. And at the end of the day, I do my best to paint a story into the market, and I create a story that makes sense to me, that gives me confidence to press the buttons. So that's essentially at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Yes, you. The currency trend chart. Do you look at it at all?
The trend chart, what is that? What do you mean by a trend?
Currency trend. Currency chart.
Oh, you're talking about like the currency strength meter? This one, right? It's like
.com.
I think this, no, I do not. I mean, anything you see on the like in the charts or anything like that, like all these numbers, like this I'm telling you, I know some of you went through this, but you're like, you're in a trade and you don't have a stop loss and you're just looking at it like, oh my God, I'm in this gold buy right now. But you're looking at USD strength so strong, that means USD is pushing down, the gold is pushing down. You're just waiting for it to just turn red and stuff like that. This doesn't tell you anything, honestly. I mean,
yeah,
that's just my opinion. I mean, I was guy who would also look at like my FX book and then try to see what was the other one. Forgot what it was, sentiments, yeah. And see all of this too.
Come out of the sheath and cut the fucking end of my finger, and I didn't even know it. It was so sharp and Lord, like a razor. Yeah.
But yeah, essentially it's just like, I used to do all of this. I mean, all it does is just it just deteriorates your confidence, to be honest, because what really matters is just looking at what the candlestick patterns are doing. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. You really do not need this. The more you look at all these different things, I used to search up all these news. Like I used to go, if I'm trading USD JPY outlook, do all those kind of things. And then I'll just try to go to news and I'll try to find one little thing that would just tell me, oh, it's going to go down. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to hold this trade. You know what? I'm not going to keep my stop loss. I'm just going to take it off and I'm just going to trust into this news article. Like there's so many things I've done in the past like this, man. I'm just telling you, stay away from that. Like this is a recipe to like disaster, in my opinion. Stick to what you see with the candlestick patterns and go with that. And it's easier to deal with the losses, honestly, because you're going to start thinking, I took a trade off of what my FX book told me, but then it went the opposite direction, but then it ended up going that direction. So it's like, it was right. I just needed to have a bigger stop loss, or I should have, it's just going to make you think a lot of things. At the end of the day, how I deal with my losses is like, I actually appreciate my losses so much, just because of the fact that you learn so much from your losses rather than, I don't learn anything from my wins, honestly. So like all my losses teaches me, there's always one thing that I did wrong. It's like, I'm never going to have a moment with a loss where I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Like I can always pinpoint and find something like, you know what? The volume was that. Like today, like if I would have examined, I was like, you know what? I took earlier. I should have waited for this level right here to break. It's a lot safer. It was the lowest point of that range. I should have definitely took it, but I didn't. And then I look at this 1 hour candle right here. Now, it's closing out as a doji. So honestly, I don't want to influence people, but buys over here is not a bad idea at this point. Like I always say, doji candles. But the reason why I would say be hesitant on this is just that there has been no lows taken out and there's no liquidity grabbed. So essentially this could be a beginning of a fake out pattern as well too. But honestly, when I haven't seen gold this dead in the open and NYC open for a long time. So it's kind of odd, and I should have just took it as like, you know what? But the thing is, I risked only a little bit, so like it didn't really matter to me. So at the end of the day, like I was totally fine with it. I knew what I was taking was very risky. I could have waited for this break, So like there's so many ways to kind of, examine it and just kind of analyze like what I did right and what I did wrong, But at the end of the day, I know that I have the markets open tomorrow that I can look for and then kind of seize the opportunity if the opportunity presents itself tomorrow. But I think at the end of the day, it's just, you really have to just be, I think, honestly, the one word I can just say is just positive. Like, I know it's simple as it sounds, but like positive in how you think, positive in how you feel. That's why I said, like, if there's any problem you're going through outside of trading, don't even look at the markets, man. It's not really worth it. It's just going to make the matters a lot worse. So like, And the crazy thing is like Forex has taught me a lot of things about emotions, and like life in general. Like honestly, like I like to use it as a way of like, I guess you can say like these candlestick patterns, like I like to just create stories with them. Like I like to say, oh, banks wanted to push this up. They wanted to grab liquidity here because they felt like so-and-so had money. Oh, Chase Bank wanted to come over here. Like it's like all these little stories, make it fun, make it fun and make it make sense to you. Because at the end of the day, other people are not pressing the buy and sell button. At the end of the day, you are. And like I always say, like someone that just closes their eyes and just press buy or sell has a 50-50 chance, honestly. This trading thing is all about probabilities. It's at the end of the day, it's gaining the confidence to really trust in what you're doing. And I think a lot of the times we just lose confidence in our system and in our strategy when we hit a losing streak. Losing streaks are inevitable. We're gonna go through it no matter what. It's how we're gonna endure that is what's gonna help us become a successful trader. That's why I feel like we all need to go through a losing streak. And like me trading live and me trading every single like a challenge or anything like that is very important because I want to be transparent on like my losing streak. And I had one recently, I think not recently, but May. I had one of the worst months possible, but I ended up finding a way out of it, like, so it's just, I think at the end of the day, it's just, we're going to go through bad months, but also we're going to have good months as well. Like July was a very good month for me. June was a very good month for me, So I think at the end of the day, if you can control and manage your risk, there should be no reason why we don't create success. And like I said, like right now, we look for indecisive candles. And then usually when we see indecisive candle, we wait for a break above or break for below. And then we got the break above, so it could have entered the trade here and then, push it up. But, it's totally fine. I'm not bothered by missing trades anymore. I mean, nothing right now within this whole range is something appealing to me. So there's like really no point of wanting to do it. And for that reason, I'm going to end the note. I'm going to end it off right there. And then I'm going to call it a night.